Hangout for. Oh, hi, everybody. This is the Hangout for where we are, March 15th, 2017 for AU. And we've got some color tests to look at. And Megan, I just sent you the latest set of tests. As I mentioned in the email, I want to do a spray test on the previous ones too, though, okay?
Yeah, I have a spray gun now.
Cool. The Descendants, now you make me feel old. Are the Descendants cool again? Hi, Milo. Or have I just always been uncool? Is that just how it works?
Maybe I'm the uncool one.
I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that. So, Anna, do you want to talk about your color test real fast? I mean, they're sure. We talked about them over email.
Yeah, I did the Mason stain test too, so I have a picture of those. I did it.
Oh, really? Do you have it on your computer? Because then...
Yeah. It's on my... Yeah.
If you can pull it up, you should be able to screen share too. So I can make you the big picture. I mean, I think there's some great colors in there. Like I said, I mean, it's really based on your palette, not so much on the colors that you got.
Mm-hmm.
In your original set. Although that gray, number 14, is pretty spiffy. In here, I'll show this. I'll share it again so Megan can see it. So Anna did this set of color tests, and it's all based on blending the colors. So we can have you do this. The problem, as we've talked about with the crawling glazes, is that the crawl glazes just eat color. So like we can do this big test, and you'll get some color, but it really, you're going to get a lot of just where the color just gets destroyed. But so she's got base colorants, which actually is from her previous test, right? Chrome, cobalt, copper, red iron oxide, manganese, nickel, and rutile. So her first round, she did different percentages of those. I mean, they're the same color. This is the thing about the colorants, like, no matter how exciting we hope they are, the base colorants have a very basic reaction. Like we know what they're going to do. And so if you've just got one glaze, which essentially is what she's working with, you're pretty much going to get blue and green. And yeah, copper will go sort of turquoise in low percentages and green in high percentages. And we'll talk about color later. But then she did this test, which is blending the colorants. So each one of these points is a blend of the two colorants. So here is chrome and here is cobalt. So the point here is chrome and cobalt. This is copper. So this is chrome and copper. And then these are the corresponding colors. Here's some featured ones she picked out. A teal, a yellow. This gray is very interesting. That's pretty cool. And then I think this is a pretty popping yellow down here. It's a stain-based yellow. And hopefully next week we'll have some more yellow tests with Beth, but there's a pretty popping yellow. But there's a lot of nice variations. So we can go over this, but let's look at the new ones first, because she did the same thing with stains. I'm going to blow this up. Best black, peacock green, avocado, Bermuda green, cobalt carb, lavender, manganese, alumina pink, old gold.
Also, I meant to type in the note, the lavender and the pink matted out a bit.
Really? They probably dried up more than matted out.
They dried up? Okay. Or yeah. They just weren't as glossy.
So what are you feeling about these?
Maybe some of the softer ones. The ones with the blue pieces of the tape on them, I was kind of looking at a bit.
I was going to say this chartreuse, which looks like it's on the Bermuda green line, second from the right.
Mhm.
And the one right above it, yeah, those are definitely interesting.
Yeah. But then also some of the more neutral ones that were like along the line of the lavender blend,
Right.
possibly.
That's a neat sort of purpley pink.
Yeah.
Um, the second one from the left on that line. I mean, the cobalt ones, they're cobalt. The best black ones are black.
Yeah.
The peacock ones look like they're pretty much all just dominated by peacock.
Yeah.
Some of the avocado ones are interesting, but the ones that are more mixed with the Bermuda and giving you more chartreuses definitely seem
Hmm.
more interesting. But like I said, I mean, it's your palette, so it's
Yeah.
however you want to do it. And so at this point, as we discussed, it really just comes down to making color choices and intensity choices. Unless you go, we'll talk about this later when we do colorants themselves, but unless you go absolutely crazy, there are some colorants that will change as the percentages go higher. We just talked about copper will be turquoise at low percentages and an outright green at higher percentages.
Hmm.
Iron goes through a huge variety of changes from low to high. It goes from a baby blue at very low percentages all the way to, basically black, Temuku black at 8 to 10%. And there's actually a green in there as well. But for the most part, upping or increasing or decreasing the percentages is just going to get you a change in intensity. It's not really going to give you some major chemical change. And the same thing goes with the stains, especially with the stains, because the stains aren't really chemically reacting for the most part. And so then the same thing goes with your original tests over here, where you can change the intensity. You can make, this teal more green or more blue by upping the chrome or the cobalt or vice versa. But it's not really going to change the nature of the colorant for the most part, unless you go to massive percentages of anything. But stuff like, I mean, cobalt, it's pretty much always blue. We'll talk later that you can get variations in blue by changing your fluxes, but that's not really on the table for you at this point. So, like I said, it's pretty much just aesthetic decisions with you, but it's a good set. Were you
Yeah.
going to try more stains, or you just sort of, where are you feeling?
I might try more stains, I think, and also I want to try maybe coloring the mat.
Right. So that was my next question. So,
But
pull this one
for
back.
me,
So the number 4 mat is what you're going to go with. That's
yeah,
good. The fit's good, right? You said.
yeah,
Oh no, you had some crazing where it was thinner, or
yeah,
right. So I did
from the
send you
interior.
some tweaks if you want to try it. Um,
Yes, I saw
and the
that.
tweaks are literally, it's a very easy generic test. Whoops. Don't want to open Word. I wanted to open a map. Actually, I got one open here. The tweaks are very simple. So, on a stall, your mat, I believe, is somewhere around here. And so it's nice and matte, but you are still in the crazing region, because remember, this darker area here is still the crazing region. So basically what I did is give you a series of tests where you just slightly nudge it over. So you're moving more towards the glossy region, but you will get less crazing, which is nice.
Okay.
But at some point, it's going to stop being matte. So again, it's always sort of a treacherous area to play with. But it could make that one change if it sticks.
And that's just adding filler.
It's just adding silica, and that's the amazing thing about the glaze map, is that that's all you have to do. Because the position that you're in is already so dominantly matte. Oh, I don't have you don't have the composition on this sheet. I had pulled it. I was looking at it the other day. Research glazes 2 and I think it was round 2. Right. So I believe this was the one we were working with. Right, where it's pretty dominantly in the matte region. So it's a 4.25 to 1, 0.3 to 0.7, fairly high alumina level. But that's fine. It's not like it's a problem. 0.15 boron. So, it's a nice matte glaze. And so I think I just had you doing 1% increases, and it just literally just marches it over into the gloss region. But again, obviously you are getting some crazing. You're right on the edge. And the crazing region is purely defined by your clay body. So, this is not accurate. Obviously, this has to be moved over because you're right on the line. And so, seriously, probably the first or second of those tests where you just nudge it over a hair should escape any crazing and still keep it pretty matte. But like I said, the higher levels will come into the glossy region eventually. But other than that, it's a fine recipe. I don't have any problems with it. The color response should be similar. Because it's basically a variation on the same base. It's mostly the same, although it's got a little less MgO. But yeah, definitely test the colorants on that base too. Yeah, it should work just fine. Well, do you guys have any questions for me at this point? I mean, we're coming back from break, so I'm sure everybody has just been thinking about glaze calc the whole time. Well, Anna, you have, but that's just because where you are. Since everybody else bailed, man, we had some good stuff to talk about too. Say again?
He's having internet problems at home. So.
Oh, okay. You're getting a little splotchy too, actually. I mean, not splotchy, but your internet keeps breaking up.
Yeah, and
well, I did want to show, I don't know if you guys have seen it, and that's what I was trying to upload, but and she's not here, but the test that Christina did with the soak on her crystalline glazes was great. So good. And I was hoping she would have uploaded them by now, and I took some with my phone, and they're for some reason not uploading to Dropbox at this point. So I can't quite put them together, but totally different world as far as her crystalline glazes. They worked really, really well. We got crystals all over the place. So really all I was doing with her was, redrawing the map of sort of giving her crystal glazes instead of just that tiny little section that historically is defined for crystals. She got a much bigger region and very, very exciting. So actually I can show this where this was her map without the soak. And you can see that some of them have crystals, right? Some of them don't. But basically, everything came through with crystals with the crystal growth cycle. So it really shows that how effective that crystal growth cycle is, and how you're not reliant. This is historically you've had to be down in this region, very low alumina. But what we found is crystals here, and we actually have 2 higher alumina levels at 0.2 and 0.25, and there are crystals in all of them. But we'll have to look at that next week. All right. Any other questions for me? Okay, so you're going to do another round of colors on the matte tests, or another round of color tests, and then colors on the matte tests. And then, I mean, I don't, like I said, for you at this point, you tell me if you need anything from me, because it really does come down to executive decisions on your part. The tweak should be fine. Oh, were those color tests on the Moen body?
No, those ones weren't.
Okay.
Just due to I dipped a few in the Moen, not the blended, just the straight. I didn't have enough test tiles of my Moen body.
Okay. Did they craze or are they good?
Oh, on the other one?
On the Moen body. They look good on the 747.
Oh, and they didn't craze.
They didn't craze? Okay. And they look good?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we've got you a gloss, we've got you a matte, we've got colors we can tweak. But it seems like you're up and running, and you still have, I won't say a number of weeks, but you still have plenty of weeks left to make pots with them.
Yeah.
Okay, so just keep knocking out the tests, send me your mat results, and we'll see.
All right.
All right, Megan, you've got the new round, and you've got an application thing, so you can knock those out.
Yep.
Okay, cool beans. This week's lecture, the next 2 weeks' lectures are really important, especially for you, Anna, talking about lower temperatures, because we really start to get in what we're doing with the lower temperatures. So, yeah, it's pretty cool stuff.
Cool.
All righty. I'll talk to y'all next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.